You've heard it a million times, right? This new AI is 95% accurate. And you think, wow, that's incredible. But what if I told you that 95% accurate model might be totally, completely useless? Yeah, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that one little number and see what's really going on behind the scenes. Let's dive in.
So, let's just tackle this head on. Is 90% accuracy good enough? I mean, on the surface, it sounds pretty great, doesn't it? But the real answer is, well, it's way more complicated than you'd think. And to really get why, we have to talk about the illusion of accuracy.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about the one metric everybody knows or thinks they know: accuracy. It's the big one you always hear about, but trust me, it can be a real magic trick. There's a surprising twist coming.
Okay, so the definition itself is super simple. Accuracy is just how many times did the AI get it right? That's it. You give it 100 emails, it gets 90 right, either correctly marking spam as spam or normal mail as normal mail. Boom, 90% accuracy. Easy peasy, right?
Now picture this. You see an AI model and it's boasting a 95% accuracy score. 95%. Your first thought is probably, okay, that's amazing. This thing is top-notch. But here's where it gets interesting. What if that model is actually worthless? And here it is. Here's the twist. Let's say we have 100 emails. 95 of them are totally normal, and only 5 are spam. Now, imagine a really lazy AI that does just one thing. It labels every single email as not spam. Well, think about it. It got the 95 normal emails right. That means it has a 95% accuracy score. But it didn't catch a single piece of spam. Not one. So yeah, it's accurate, but in reality, it's completely useless.
See? This is exactly why accuracy alone isn't enough. We need better tools in our toolkit. And to really get the full picture of how an AI is performing, we have to bring in two new, much more powerful ideas: precision and recall. These two completely change the game.
Okay, let's start with precision. The best way to think about this is to ask, when the AI does point its finger and say, yes, that's spam, how often is it actually correct? It's all about trustworthiness. You can think of it as, how careful is this AI? Is it the type to double-check its work before raising its hand? Then you've got its partner, recall. And recall asks a totally different question. It asks, of all the spam that was actually there, all the stuff it should have found, how much of it did it actually catch? So this isn't about being careful. It's about being thorough. It's a measure of completeness. Is it finding everything it's supposed to? And this is a perfect way to see them side by side. Precision, that's like a sniper. When it takes a shot, it almost always hits the target. It's all about the quality of the yes predictions. But recall, that's more like casting a giant fishing net. The goal is to catch all the fish, even if you accidentally scoop up a little seaweed along the way. It's about quantity and making sure you don't miss anything. Neither one is better, they just do different jobs.
All right, I know this can feel a little theoretical, so let's bring it down to earth with a super high-stakes example everybody gets: airport security. This is where the difference between precision and recall really, really matters.
So let me put you in the driver's seat. You're designing the AI for the airport scanner. What's more important to you? Is it more important to avoid annoying passengers with false alarms for things like water bottles, or is it more important to find every single potential threat, even if it means a few extra bag checks?
Here's how that choice breaks down. A high-precision system means fewer false alarms. When that alarm goes off, you're pretty darn sure it's something real. But a high-recall system, that's designed to be super sensitive. It's all about finding every possible threat, which means, yeah, you're going to get more false alarms. And here's the key takeaway, the big trade-off. You almost never get both. If you crank up the recall to find everything, your precision usually goes down. It's a balancing act.
And when it comes to security, I think we can all agree high recall is critical. It's non-negotiable. You would much rather deal with 100 false alarms than miss one single real threat. The cost of being wrong in that direction is just way too high. And that right there shows you that the context, the situation, is what tells you which metric is more important.
And you know what? This same logic applies to so many other things. It's always about picking the right tool for the job. Let's run through a couple more quick examples.
This lays it out perfectly. Think about fraud detection. You want high precision there. Why? Because you really don't want to accuse an innocent customer of fraud and freeze their card. A false positive is a huge headache. But then flip over to something like medical screening for a serious disease. There you want high recall. You'd rather have a few extra tests for healthy people, a few false alarms, than to miss a single person who's actually sick.
Okay, so we have covered a lot. Let's wrap this up and boil it down to the key takeaways, so you walk away with a brand new, much smarter way to think about AI.
All right, if you forget everything else, just remember this one little trick. It's fantastic. Precision is about being precise when you say yes. And recall is about your ability to recall all the real yes cases. Simple as that.
And honestly, we're just scratching the surface here. The whole field is moving so fast. The experts at places like Google and Amazon are already using even more advanced metrics, looking at things like fairness and how these systems work in the messy real world. It goes way beyond just being correct.
So I'm going to leave you with a question. The next time you see a headline that says some new AI is 90% accurate, you'll know better, right? You're now equipped to ask the smarter questions. You'll be the one in the room asking, okay, but what's its precision? What's its recall? And that is how you really understand what's going on.